So every single day in the United States, I found out like 2016 was the year I found astral travel after many, many years of increased gray matter loss and me just falling apart having natural born schizophrenia and then smoking weed increasingly to continue to wire my brain so I don't kill myself or like rip my teeth out in just anger and pain and sadness because I used to cry just 24/7 just because I was so low functioning, and then mentally and physically there was no other emotional state for me to exist in but like pure agony and tears. And it led to me reprogramming and pruning my brain with weed to be one of the happiest people like known to mankind, with honestly, like I do have a lot of resources. I'm pretty rich, but like just I'm always incredibly humble. Like weed will always like humble you. It will like bring you down to a good basics, like baseline of like where you should stay humble. So I've always been humble as shit because I grew up with the government and rapists and teams of like CIA specialists monitoring me and religious groups watching over me in my life path and just monitoring where I am and what I'm doing astrally and how it works and how I feel and what my fetishes are and how to destroy me psychologically and all these other ways, while I went to a high school that just breeds people like that, living in a country that just breeds psychopaths and sociopaths and refuses to teach religion in schools, leaving them all completely unchecked astrally and allowed to just run around and rape everyone with their eyeballs in a country that like has no physical history of other people understanding at least one religion in mass enough to talk about mental health appropriately. Because right now it's like in America, what you need to know physically is this mental health crisis has been sure planned. There's a lot of things that are planned out by the New World Order trying to take over demonically. And I'm not gonna lie to you, in my opinion, my theory of evolution touches on this, and everyone tries to define all of these ideas in me that get a little bit too high IQ. Seriously. Everybody is a spine and a brain and a nervous system that has to organize like good and bad between the frontal lobes, and it's always just going to be some sort of vibration at the end of the day of your two eyes twitching like when you're dreaming you're sorting something, and it's going to be sunlight to gravity, and gravity that flicks and spins and rotates the earth is going to make a dimensional portal, and you are going to be the key. Everyone's known this, and that's why everyone looks out right now and says, I'm God, basically. And everyone's gonna look, you see everyone. The definition of everyone as a force is different for everyone in America. I would say most Americans have something of like a face. Like if you compare America as three faces to Japan, America is everyone's on my side. Nobody like that. God left. LOL. OMG. What the fuck, bro? Like and then it just turns into eye glances for romance and sex, and romance and sex will always just be some sort of eye glance across the room that you guys said nothing about, and that's where telepathy comes in. And there's no respect of any chakras, there's no respect of meditation, there's no respect of boundaries at all, because everyone has to look across and say, was that real or not? Because I can't tell. And it's because the people who came to this country decided to just straight murder all the natives instead of live with them, like regardless of what you think about any other religion. The natives knew, they understood the great spirit, which is basically just understanding that karma is a force physically. See, like these wind chimes tap on that. Like that's the force of karma, and that's 333 on this video. That's just like understanding karma as a concept. Like I bring it up, here it is again. Karma is just literally everything flowing in between everything that is. And I'm not saying I'm karma, I'm not like the dealer of karma, I'm not karma itself as like an act, because if you ever start to become like karma in America becomes like, oh, you're God, and if you touch something, it's like my Tumblr safe space hashtag just became like the world's biggest political debate that can be debated into someone actually shooting me physically. That's 404 on my phone. I have no other words for my astral self has been pulled so far back into my spine that like down I look up somewhere from behind my heart and my rib cage, and I have to monitor myself just because my head will have some thoughts bounce up and down here, and I'll move around astrally and like move with my astral air like my head is on fire. But America as a whole, like honestly, whatever Western cultures just say the voices aren't real and perpetuate this entire society of like religions not being taught properly, and Happy Halloween, and no one understands that hunt of a woman who betrays the churches, like whatsoever, like what stems it astrally at all, which is where the magic happens. Like anyone, seriously, I've completely lost where I was going whatsoever and my arm hurts physically. There's a huge energetic attack on me, and I'm in pain. This is a point where I would honestly stop the video and go back to smoking weed or getting high and using a crystal to basically just rip things out of my spine in different columns. But I have to keep talking about what I'm going through on a daily basis, which is, at this point in time, there's too many physical people tied to the forces of America, living and breathing in America, Canada, Mexico, all of these other countries that have, even China does this, I'm not even gonna lie. There's a lot of countries that have the concept of any interaction between you and another person astrally doesn't exist. Honestly, well, I say China does this just because they diagnose people with schizophrenia. And I don't know, it's always some sort of heavy social discredit. But they'll all say any interaction astrally between you and another individual doesn't exist, which is where you can actually telepathically interact with someone. You can rape somebody with your eyeballs. People who come from Buddhist communities are going to know this. Like, Japan knows this. Like, you actually can rape with your eyes. It's very obvious. It's so obvious, in fact, I don't think a single feminist there understands you need to say that. Like, that actually has to be said to America, like, wake up America. Like, at the same time, if you say that to America, hey, you can look out and have sex with a celebrity, all of America is going to scare all of the celebrities into leaving, or they're all can actually, like, start dying, because the astral air here physically, with all these people looking out, thinking, and sorting it with their brains, minds, and dreams, and concepts, understanding, instincts, all of this building into human gods through the environment. Like, you go out every single day. This is, like, one of the hardest things for me to do is tell you all my theories of evolution that are exactly how I think and communicate on a daily basis, and need very badly to teach everyone so they stop looking at me in 2019 and ending careers over, like, the thought that they could be God over me just for a second. Like, they need to, like, move on. It's very, very hard for me to get to that point, especially because if people start to understand astral sex in the United States, the sheer force of people that were trying to play God over everyone else is so heavy, because they've been raping everyone and helicopter parenting their kids' sex life through space-time. For one, people want to murder their entire family lines, and every day you hear the wind chime, George Miller. Every single day I'm aware of the Filthy Frank show and what it is as a show. Just this man running around screaming as Jesus Christ, running through portals, going on spiritual missions, screaming, it's time to stop raping your kids. As long as I'm aware of that on YouTube. Every single day, I'm running into families and rapists who are hyper aware with the psychopathic IQ of analysis. Like, psychopaths just look out and need reward and basically just eat and consume and rape and fuck and look everything to death, and then hope their IQ backs them up, or try to fight everything and say it's some instinctual IQ battle and rape fest. Like, that's all the world is right now, and physically, it's hard for me to just tell you that, like, every single day I walk out as a sheer force of karma, like, forcefully karma. The world is trying to kill me like a penguin off a cliff into the void of the United States, like the wall of faces that says they're God in the United States, and there's a wall of faces there ready to contest the idea of karma being a physical force of nature. So all these people keep raping me, or I keep getting raped, and if I ever try to, like, walk around and rip them out of my face or stop them from implanting their fucking face into my frontal chakras, which is something that Japanese people freak out at, and they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because to be in front of someone through time or to puppet them, you have to get in front of their chakra point and bite them from behind the head, or puppet them like their desire for sunlight and their need for, like, evolution, and instinctual continuation. People will usually just kind of, like, rape and consume your body as a concept and then just float above you like an inch. It's actually very basic mind control, but there's so many chains of people raping their families and raping each other and going up and down and looking through space-time and doing that, and just astrally, like, if you want to ask, like, a white girl, where's your culture? It's like, it's a chain festival of, like, daddy rape. It's just dads raping each other and everyone getting really pissed off at, like, my Forever 21 and World Market bags and shit, telling me I'm appropriating everything. It's because culture is just, like, their dads raping everyone, looking down, parenting everyone, saying, good boy, son, and then teaching everyone how to rape, and then just raping some more, and then all these other people not raping, and then just being oppressed by that force through space-time, and nobody teaching them that fourth dimensional space-time exists because they want to keep raping. So it's actually come down to the point where the United States, like in Hollywood, in I don't know how much of Hollywood, but enough of it that it keeps barking at me in some weird culty groups, like just some weird like packs of people keep barking, like Hollywood kind of like concept into my face when they want me to shut up. It's like a nice gentle rag astrally of like, it's not, it's like the gentle rag is funny just because it's always a psychopath who can just stop and just sheer flat meet like a black and white void and realize that their life has ended and then continue. Everyone will have to walk and continue because none of them understood karma as an actual force moving in between all of us. That's why karma actually always involves the environment in other countries that recognize karma as a force. Genuinely, it's because they understand why the United States has chemtrails. Chemtrails are to stop you from connecting to the environment and to keep your face from going out and getting put into a tree. See, what they're afraid of is you starting with the tree and then going into stars. And that's what Christianity does religiously every Christmas, is murder a tree covered in angels, which are full-blown people in trees, and stars and lights and ribbons and colors. And all of this is going to be debatable. Yes, sure. And physically, Joji, you don't understand. I could be murdered for this idea, okay? In America or elsewhere. You don't understand the mental health crisis of America. This could be a funny joke in Japan, but not to me as an American. By making it astrally and just saying it in such a quiet astral plane with so many few awake people and so many psychopaths praying down from above. Physically, there's actual forces of people that are electromagnetic forces of IQ, intent, and movement, looking at each other, eyeballing around silently, and moving, that want me to die for, like, saying something bad about Christ, the dead man, and then staying gripped, like, tooth and nail to this archaic book, just to make sure they don't have to update the system of I'd like to continue raping my children, please, and I need a place to go scout people to rape who are stupid. Okay? I don't know what I don't know what Buddhism and like Japan and like Christianity is. Okay? But you need to understand, Joji, just by acknowledging my presence as an individual, you're endangering my life so badly in the United States, because every single second I'm alive, physically the United States is desperately fighting for my astral self to control and start a statement in so badly. They've whittled themselves down to my subconscious, which they'll just listen to, and they all collectively narrate into something really retarded. And it's always just going to be like, I'll wake up someday and it'll say, live, laugh, love, honey. And they'll look at me like that was my ancestor and you have to be exterminated here because they've just been raping and everything's pedophile dementia. Like, I don't have any words to describe exactly how everything schizophrenic about Tim and Eric is funny as fuck, but everything schizophrenic about a paranoid conspiracy theorist made the United States government notice me as a child, become sentient enough to beg this country to pay me to spend the time to develop the science that should be in a private college, because the fight physically to get Americans to teach all religions in schools, just period, is too dangerous and deadly for me to continue. I can't actually this is not a seizure at all, George Miller. That's all sentient people who have heard me seize and heard people impersonate autism as a puppet in me and built that up to strangle me. And OCIC is people coming up the back of your head and throat, grabbing your throat and say, I see, OCIC, and that's all Joji's sounds are at the end of the days. And I'm lucky if I can screech and make that sound, and then subconsciously behind it, subtitles, bro, someone saved my life. Okay? In vor fetish America, where everyone will just then eat me, rape me, and continue the cycle. Like, I need you all to pay me for weed money because I need like 10 grams of RSO to throw up for a month to get Justin Roiland's attention. Okay? Physically, because these alcoholics stare off into just my pineal chakra with the rest of Silicon Valley, eating and consuming the back of my brain and flicking my chakra as they flick my fucking clit, microscopically, energetically going, go, Nikki. Vegan princess, we're going to nuke you, honey. Wait, and then they all just puppeteer from there. flicking universes, like telling me, oh, eugenics are out to get you, oh, we're PC, and everyone just prunes society through their dad raping them through their asshole as a force going the wrong way on spinning DNA. That's wrong collectively. There's wind chimes. Somebody, for the love of God, acknowledge how much I'm carrying the cancer crew through the fact that all of you have to look out, and God now, through space-time, is not a society of Buddhists sorting through emotions collectively like Japan, ending in strange collective IQ suicides that can be battled through IQ, but instead, any American at any point in time looking and just deciding to restart the argument in their head at any angle. Because they looked forward. It's that dumb American, like, fluoride stare of, like, okay, but, all right, but, okay, we'll see, but, okay, actually, but, all right, but, okay, actually, but, like, karma as a force, at some point, which a Buddhist community would say that person's insane. The United States, that's like God. Okay, so Joji joking about, like, my weird-ass feminist hashtag showing up and, like, ruining his life. Like, you need to eat shit. You're not safe in this country. That's not a threat. That's a very fair warning. Look into, like, interpretations of Silence of the Lambs and how much people will stare into this flag and then watch Zootopia and not understand that it's Silence of the Lambs brainwashing, because in the United States, where they place all of the Egyptian symbols on the money that Christopher McCandless burned because he had a mental breakdown and under all these IQ forces that kill Japanese people that live in Buddhist communities. Like, those are the original Nazis. We have a Nazi president currently. Seriously, in some opinions, okay? Guys, I'm dying now. Christopher McCandless is dead. None of you understand. I'll just screech in death on my own. And if all of you know subconsciously, I'm not even joking, at the end of the day, it all works out somehow, at least for a while, that we can run away from all of Christian America just fighting this IQ demon that actually just causes Japan to die. Look at all the death in Japan and how smart they are as a society, and then look at America that's not even, like, mostly awake, and how much they're all just shooting each other for no question marks reason. And then look at Lyme disease as an outbreak that will drive people into schizophrenic insanity. And then look at all the arguments around chloroform and weed on a federal level, and space and time travel, rape, and Christianity, and staring around dead people and debating life and death with a Christian through fourth-dimensional space-time that's, like, aware of all these concepts ever. You all know what Christian America is, period. Somebody fucking PayPal me money. It's not a joke that I'm just showing up in the astral saying pay me, because I'm not kidding. You guys don't know me. You understand the cons. Thank you. Thank you. I think I just sold iDubbbz at some point. That took, like, this video. I hope you guys watch it.